Welcome to Wisconsin Weather Experts, people. I'm flying solo today here, and thank you for tuning in, if whether you're on Fox Local or if you are on our YouTube. We have a lot to get to today, some exciting things and some informative things as well. We've had an eventful week here in Wisconsin overall, whether we're dealing with snow or whether we're dealing with cold temperatures. We've kind of had it all. We even had a dusting of some of that snow earlier this morning, but that didn't really contribute to the accumulation that we've already had over the past week. Saturday was a very busy day for us all, but we're not the only area that has been really busy. I mean, maybe on Saturday we were, but here, this is a look at just at the East Coast. So ice, rain, and snow are slamming parts of the East Coast as the first nor'easter of the season arrives. The winter weather is creating a travel nightmare for millions of Americans. At least 6 states are under winter storm warnings and advisories. Forecasters warn the worst could be felt in New England, where they have received up to 10 inches of snow, kind of similar to what we had here on Saturday and even parts of Sunday. So pretty much this storm is also disrupting the air travel that you're seeing there. You see that plane just pretty much stuck in the snow. That was kind of here as well. Last week we were having some delays, and even our new family, they pretty much got stuck until the snow was over. They were finally able to leave yesterday. Let's continue to pretty much switch gears here. We're going to stay on the topic of snow, though. So during the storm, a truck driver needed to be rescued in West Virginia after his semi-truck dangles over a bridge. This looks so scary here. It does. I remember this happened maybe a few years ago, where this also happened to a truck driver. It didn't have anything to do with snow. However, it still was, it was like an accident and they were dangling. Gladly, though, he was able to be rescued. It happened during yesterday's snowstorm in Mason County. So the truck reportedly lost control before it was left dangling over the bridge. So crews successfully rescued the driver, who wasn't hurt, thankfully. So that's pretty good that he was not hurt. And you know, this could happen to anybody, whether you're driving in the snow or, you know, you're just out there just in the snow in general, whether you're driving or riding with someone. You just want to be able to use caution. Drive slow enough, too, because things get really slippery and slick out there with this snow. And then you got cold temperatures that could even cause some icing on the grounds. Well, as we switch gears here just a little bit and bring it back closer to home, we will have our full regional forecast in just a couple of minutes. I'll give that to you. But first, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Tom Wachs with a look at the jet stream.
Let's talk about the weather forecast really over the next week or so when it comes to the jet stream. And I know this is kind of like a work of art here. You kind of got to look carefully here. I know there are a lot of lines on the screen. So we're looking at approximately 30,000 feet. This is the jet stream. This is a trough of low pressure that's bringing a cold front through the area today. But as we go towards Friday and into the weekend, you're going to notice another trough down to the south, a little one coming through here that should come through with little consequence on Friday. But what I want to point out by the weekend and into next week is look at the west to east flow in general here. This is called the zonal flow in meteorology, and instead of that big trough that we saw with the Panhandle hook last week, I'm not seeing that anytime soon, but we could have little waves, little troughs of low pressure develop within this over the course of the next 2 weeks, and depending on how those look, that could bring snow our way, especially with more cold air in place here in Wisconsin. So the bottom line with our forecast over the next couple of weeks, at this point, I'm not seeing any big Panhandle hook systems. That, of course, could change as we get closer to certain events. But right now, the overall pattern that I'm seeing is more of this zonal flow pattern with embedded storm systems in it. And any of those storms, if we match up with the cold air, could bring some snow from time to time. And it does look like a colder pattern overall over the course of the next couple of weeks, at least through mid-December. So bottom line, expect some more snow on the way, but I'm not seeing monster snowstorms, at least at this point.
Thanks, Tom. Now, listen, we've had just a few of those sprinkles of flurries that have pretty much moved to the area this morning. We'll see some more of that over the weekend. But here is a look at that regional forecast for you as we dive in. We're going to start with a bigger look of the picture, and this is just across the United States. So we've talked about that nor'easter that's pretty much dominated the East Coast. Well, it's made its way past New England at this point, which it did drop a lot of snow and cooler temperatures. Speaking of cooler temperatures, look at this cold front here. Exactly where that zonal flow is, that is where we also have the cold front. And really behind the cold front, all of this cold air from Canada is going to continue to plunge southward. That's going to affect our area as you've pretty much felt it at this point, with temperatures continuing to drop. Some areas, at least down south, a little bit more of a higher pressure, so that's keeping them on the drier side, and even too perhaps a little bit warmer as expected in the southeast. So I'm from the south. If you don't know, my family is very lucky to continue to have the beautiful weather. They ask me every day, is it cold outside? Is it cold? I'm like, yes, it's cold. Is it cold there? And then we have a little bit more of that activity, just at least in the Four Corners area. And this is really focusing on Colorado. They're seeing a lot of snow in just this particular area. And what's happening there is they have a low pressure system, and they have the mountains. All of that is producing this snow as well for their area. And that brings them to pretty much being a part of a winter weather advisory. And then some areas have the winter storm warning that's pretty much in place. So if you're going to be headed that way, definitely prepare for a heap of snow. And I'm sure those temperatures are just as cool as it is here. So those are really the only winter headlines that we're seeing across the entire United States is this area. Now, that was us last week. We do have some areas, at least a little bit more on the northern portion of our area there for Wisconsin. They have a pretty much a winter storm advisory as well as a warning in their area as well. And that's north of Milwaukee or north of Wisconsin and Michigan. So we don't really have anything to worry about. Let's go ahead and look ahead here on the Sky Vision as we plan, so you can look at everything going on statewide. We may not be getting snow here in Milwaukee, but there will be some areas across the state that will be. As we go throughout the rest of this afternoon, those clouds will continue to dominate really the entire state. Skies will gradually start to clear. You do notice, though, we will have a little bit more of that snow just in the northern portion of the state. This is for Marquette. It's going to receive even some snow could dip far as Rhinelander. So all of this is going to overall be lake effect snow from Lake Superior. So that's what we're going to continue to monitor for that area. And if you're going to be headed there over the weekend pretty soon, this is still going to be the case. It's going to get colder too, because temperatures, we do have the cold front moving through, and all of those cold temperatures from Canada are going to continue to plunge southward towards our area and even further south from Milwaukee. So if you're headed up north, it's going to be a lot colder in that area. Now, as we go throughout Tuesday, or this is Thursday morning, excuse me. This is Thursday morning around 7:30. As we go throughout the entire Thursday, at least for the southern half of our state, we're going to be overall much clearer, having a lot more of that sunshine. As we head towards the afternoon, we start to see those clouds really return for the northern half of the state, and even perhaps a little bit more of those snow showers could pretty much give the northern half of the state, again, more of that snow. So we are in a weak La Nina pattern, so that is also too contributing to us pretty much having a wetter winter. Even though we're not in winter just yet, we're already starting to see some of that pretty much come to fruition here. But we look on Friday. We're looking at pretty much starting the morning back with more of those clouds in the area. Here's a look at those current temperatures as we switch gears. We've talked about the weather. Overall, not too many issues across the state. Maybe a little bit of snow, but that's pretty much it. We do have that colder air, though, not just pretty much dominating everybody across the state, except for Florida. Florida's right at 80 degrees. Even Phoenix is getting a taste of cooler temperatures at 60 degrees right now. 31 here in Milwaukee, 35 in St. Louis. Here's a look at the forecasted highs today. We've already exceeded what our forecasted high was, which was 30. So now, being that we got to 31, temperatures are going to be cooling down for our area, as well as all of these areas across really the entire country. 82 is what they're warm up to in Miami, 40 in New York, 34 in Toronto, 9 degrees in Bismarck. Closer to home here, we're seeing some other areas. 11 degrees is what they'll warm up to in Duluth, 20 in Marquette. And really everybody is still going to be near freezing or below freezing for a lot of our areas across the Midwest. Very, very cold air. And all of this here, did you see, that is all, again, coming from Canada. Here's a look at those temperatures and wind chills over the next several days. So really the next 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So we have the high in the 30s today with wind chills in the teens. Tomorrow we only get to the lower teens as a high. Wind chills feeling closer to at least 0, definitely in the single digits, and even some areas could even feel below 0 in the sub-zero category. Now as we head into Friday, a little bit warmer, back in the mid to upper 20s, but still the wind chill is going to make it feel much cooler. We'll be right at 17 for those wind chills. Here is a look just ahead as the high temperature trend over the next 6 days. Tomorrow being the coolest day of the week, down to the teens. And then from there, we're going to warm up a little bit more, back in the 20s, as you see there. We're going to be in the mid to upper 20s, but really no changes. Still going to be overall below our average. Here is a look at that temperature outlook as we go over the next 6 to 10 days. This is roughly December 6th through the 10th, you guys. And yeah, below average, as you see Milwaukee cutting it. Really, half of the country is going to be below average. The other half of the country is going to be above average. So we all know where the warmer temperature stands. So if you're looking for warmer weather, maybe heading out west would be a good idea. If you want the cooler weather, then it's okay to just stay here, or even go as far as out to Buffalo, New York, or even Boston. That's where some cold air is going to be as well. But we have more to come. Lots of exciting things to talk about. We're going to come back right after this break, so stay with us. Welcome back, you guys, to Wisconsin Weather Experts here. So we have way more of things to show you here, lots of interesting things. So we're going to start it off here for this block with pretty much some Long Island swimmers. So let's go ahead and start this here. So check this out. Rain or shine, winter or summer, one Long Island, New York woman has made it her goal to swim in the ocean every day. Of all the seasons here, you guys. Listen up. So, Good Day New York's Jody Goldberg has pretty much her inspiring story. Take a listen.
Every morning, you can find Mindy Doveberg singing her way toward the surf in Long Beach, her sanctuary, the Atlantic Ocean.
Before I was doing this, I would always see surfers running up the ramp with their surfboards, and I never understood what they were so excited about.
Now she gets it, and for close to 1,000 days, it's been her 5 to 10 minute ritual. It all started after her father passed away.
It was a year after his passing, and I could not shake the grief out of me. And so I was meditating, and I came out of the meditation. I heard go into the ocean. So I just did. And in that moment, I forgot that he had died.
And since then,
It's like a low tide day.
every morning,
Okay.
the 52-year-old walks out wearing warm weather gear and then strips down to her swimsuit and slowly walks in.
I usually say an intention.
Not only has it helped her mentally, but it's helped physically too. Mindy needed a cane after a car accident left her with a chronic pain disorder.
As you can see, I'm not walking with a cane today. So it's really, it's such a transformational journey for me.
Now the Reiki master teacher and author has inspired others to join in too. She started the Sunday Splashers in Long Beach, a growing group of people looking to share the same feeling.
I thought, I need to meet her and I want to connect with her.
She's even become the talk of the town.
She is very courageous, and I love that she does what she loves and it works perfectly for her. Now, just to give you an idea of how mental it is, I'm standing here in a winter coat, my hood's on, I have no socks on, I'm already cold. Walking to the water, Mindy's in a bathing suit, and I couldn't be colder. This is no joke, and you mean to tell me you're out here in all types of weather?
Yes, when it snows, I love it. I do snow angels in my wet bathing suit. It's awesome.
Rain or shine, fever or fatigue, Mindy doesn't miss a morning, marking each day in the sand.
962. People always want to do things when they're motivated. And that's not going to happen. Sometimes you just need to do the thing first, take the action first.
She finds warmth in the cold,
So my fingers have memory of the cold for so many years.
joy in the journey.
When I walk back in my home, I always say, I'm so happy I did that.
And she has no plans of stopping anytime soon. In Long Beach, Long Island, Jody Goldberg, Fox 5 News.
Wow, I mean, for me, it's just too cold. I don't enjoy, I like cold weather and the scene and the picture it paints. However, I am an avid swimmer, but give me swimming in the summertime. It makes me look forward to it every summer. You know what I'm saying? But okay, let's move forward here and let's talk about volcanoes, shall we? So airlines are being told to stay away from Peru's volcano in Colombia. Look at that eruption there. This alert was raised to an orange level yesterday after the volcano erupted for the first time in decades. That is straight pretty much volcano ash, the gray that you're looking at there. So it erupted yesterday. So after the volcano erupted for the first time in decades, the video shows ash and smoke spewing out of it. The last time the volcano erupted was in 1977. An orange level tells people living in the area to keep an eye out on it. Red is pretty much next on the scale. So that means that it is time to evacuate. And if it were me, I would evacuate whenever it says orange, because even though the ash is there and it may not be close, it still can affect your breathing because the air quality is not going to be the best. You got to think wind is still blowing in every which way. So if you're ever living or going somewhere where there's volcanoes, an active one, just be sure to always use the proper precautions and know where your evacuation route is. Now let's pretty much stay on the topic of weather here, and we're going to continue with talking about something a little different. This is about lightning. So a Thanksgiving trip pretty much turns into disasters. So Thanksgiving was maybe about a week ago, and this is what happened. A Florida teacher is in critical condition after being hit by lightning. As Fox 35's Ariel Placinia explains, he has a long road to recovery. Take a listen.
James is a really adventurous guy. Most important thing you should know about him.
Before James Hernandez became a Palm Harbor middle school teacher,
He's extremely high energy.
He keeps us motivated and moving all the time.
The Pinellas County father of two worked for a tour company.
He would take people on biking tours all around the world, mostly in Spanish-speaking countries because he also speaks Spanish. And so biking was literally his job.
And biking is what James was doing over Thanksgiving. James, his wife, and their baby joined close friends Yuri Botelho, Yuri's wife, and their baby for a holiday trip to Peru, where James and Yuri went downhill mountain biking with a guide.
What happened was, tragedy struck. There was a freak lightning strike.
Sadly, Yuri died, but the guide was able to get help for James. The 41-year-old science teacher was critically injured.
I'm sorry. It's really hard.
Multiple neck fractures.
He's an amazing brother.
And injury to his spinal cord. James has already had emergency surgery. Now his family is raising money online to help get him back to Florida.
At this time, we really don't know what it's going to mean going forward for him as far as paralysis being a possibility.
And while loved ones continue to rally around James, the loss of his friend hits hard too.
There's no words to describe how amazing of a man Yuri was.
Two beautiful lives now forever changed by a tragic freak accident.
We do live in Florida where there is lightning, and I unfortunately have been caught in lightning while mountain biking with my kids here, and it's scary, but to think of it happening elsewhere is it's really mind-blowing.
Yeah, that is very, very sad. And I mean, my heart goes out to those people and even the families that are affected by that. And guys, just another safety tip. Whenever it is lightning, definitely don't try to be outdoors and trying to get pictures or anything like that, because your phone is electricity and all of that stuff plays a role. You just want to make sure you're using caution while outdoors, or even if you're indoors, maybe staying away from water and stuff while, there's a thunderstorm going on that has lightning, and staying away from windows. But again, practice all of those safety precautions. It can happen to anyone. We have more coming up after our break here. We're going to pretty much come back after the break. This is a look across Milwaukee. You see it's very, very cloudy out there. Lots of snow still on the ground. Stay with us. All right, welcome back, guys. We have some cool stuff to talk about as we conclude here. Let's go ahead and just dive into it. We've been seeing the snow. We've been pretty much thinking about a winter wonderland. How about penguins? The Humboldt penguins at the London Zoo are counting down the days until Christmas. Me too. The penguins got a special advent calendar filled with fishy treats, and pretty much on Monday. So this reminds me of Happy Feet, just a little bit more of a realistic view here. While you can see they don't really get the concept of an advent calendar, it may be because they're clumsy on land, but they are graceful swimmers and can reach speeds of up to 30 miles per hour. Wow, that's fast. When they hunt in the water, that's pretty much how fast they go when they hunt in the water. They are from Chile and Peru, and their numbers are declining in the wild. Humboldt penguins are classified as vulnerable on the IUCN Red List of Threatened Species. The advent calendars are all part of the magic of Christmas at London Zoo, with various seasonal events running until Sunday, January 4th. All right, guys, so let's even switch gears here a little bit even more. Now, this was so exciting. I actually got to meet Hugh Jackman today. It was so cool. It was only it wasn't the only Wisconsin staple he experienced to start the day with his fans. We caught Hugh Jackman serving custard at Cops. This is at the Greenfield location. This line wrapped around the building because the first 500 people in the line got free custard. I was not one of them. We talked with the people in line who say that this event put Milwaukee in an awesome spotlight.
He's a smiling guy. He looks like he's living the dream right now, serving out Milwaukee's best custard. I told him thanks for coming to Milwaukee. It's just so great to have a legend stepping in and handing out legendary custard.
Cops partnered up with Focus Futures to create a Sung Blue flavor of the day. The daughter of Thunder and Lightning, who the movie was based off of, was at Cops too. She says the movie shows her parents' strong connection to the Cream City. Oh, I wish I was there, but I met him today. We'll have more coming up as we head in throughout the rest of the week, so tune in again tomorrow at 12.